Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
No doubt, no doubt.
Welcome. Give you your official intro here.
Yeah. I was gonna say intro him, Kyle. Intro him.
Yeah, I gotta we gotta at least greet them and everything first. We cut out the beginning, don't worry. All right, so we have a very special guest today. He is a rapper from Chicago. He broke onto the scene in 2014 with his breakout project, The Waters. His fourth studio album, The Patience, came out in August. Ladies and gentlemen, very talented Mick Jenkins. How you doing today, Mick?
I'm good,
Welcome.
man. I'm good.
Welcome to the show. It's
Thanks.
we're happy to have you. So, first off, congratulations on the new project. You're getting great reviews. I guess how does it feel? I was reading some interviews you've done recently, and you said out of all like your rollouts and maybe where you're at creatively and just from your relationship label, everything, you feel like this has like been your strongest, the most confident you were with your album rollouts, and it seems like this one's paid off.
Yeah, we're still in the midst of it. We still got a lot of shit to go, a lot of things to do, stuff for people to come out and experience. Even that, right? I think a lot of times I would drop a project and just, drop a project. You feel me? Not work it, not bring it up 6 months later, so that's the plan, a lot of content, experiential exhibit type shit for niggas to come out and experience and like give more context to the world and that the space that the music lives in, what I was going through. And I'm really proud of that just because I don't think I've ever really done it it's definitely not to the degree that I have. We're just about to start dropping videos, but we got 11 visualizers up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just there's all kinds of things that I want to do to just kind of help the music. And it's fun to do those things. It's fun to get that shit cooking and come up with those ideas and then see them grow from an idea to something that's tangible for people to enjoy and experience. So I'm just excited to get to do that. I never really got to do that in the way that I wanted to.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I was definitely been hip to the music for a long time. And to your point, this rollout definitely feels like I don't want to say more intentional, but it's just way more visibility on your end.
Intentional word for sure.
Yeah. So it definitely does feel more intentional this time around. I want to just ask, like, how does it feel doing it this way versus how you've done it in the past, and what's the challenges or even just the pros, and how does it feel?
It feels good. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I like to do. This is ways I like to express myself. It's really just money. That's the biggest the stalling of this, why it wouldn't happen before, or what. It was no shortage of ideas or desire. I think it's just the ability, the opportunity. Even now, there's not like an endless label funds. You feel me? Like even now I'm about to start dipping back into my pocket now, but to make things happen that I want to see happen, so I think it is always about money, trying to make shit happen. So but as far as being in a position to get it done, it feels great. I think for me as an artist and the way that I think and express myself, the more tools that I have to help people, to help illustrate what it is I'm trying to say, the better. So, interviews, documentaries, profiles, videos, visualizers, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I think as long as there's an angle for me to express myself actually and my messaging for real, I'm down. Right. So.
All right.
Yeah, 100%. And as I've been reading some of the interviews you've given over the last few months, I like them. You've been talking your shit, saying that you're the best, and it's about time that people recognize it. Like I like that.
I don't know if I'm definitely one of the best for sure. I don't know if I'm the best. I don't know. I don't know. How do you? I think that's a big thing. Is just like, how do you determine that with rap?
You're right.
Like,
You said you were one of the best. You didn't call yourself the best, but still, I mean, just being honest and like, I mean, you name drop rappers as people that have like came and gone, or that you didn't think maybe the longevity. So I mean, you're saying like you're saying that's exactly how you feel. I like it.
You feel me? Like I feel like it's the truth. Motherfuckers do come and go, and people don't want to say names. It's just like, I mean, that's how this shit goes. Like I'm where I'm at, and niggas could talk down about where I'm at in the scale of things in the industry, and it's just like no matter how negatively a nigga speak, there would be some truth in that. You feel me? I'm not as high as I want to be. I didn't break through the mainstream. I didn't whatever. It's just like there's truth to all of it. So I feel like, I mean, it's true.
And Oh, not to cut you off. I feel like too, just from a hip hop space, it's a lot of different ways to look at what makes you the best, right? You can go on the numbers and popularity route, or you can go the skill route. You know what I mean? The skill and the quality of the music. And I definitely feel like, definitely, if anything, in that lane, you know what I mean? You got it. Like you definitely like a swordsman in that sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you have that shit is fun to do, but it comes down to what conversation are we having? You feel me? Like who sold the most, who had the best, who had a classic album. I think even when you talk about classics and the cementing of classic, how the people receive that goes into that conversation a lot more than it would in some other conversations where we're ranking artists and shit like that. So I think, just like a lot of other things, those are good conversations to have. They're fun, they're entertaining, but
Yeah.
when it comes down to like being definitive, gets difficult. Like,
Yeah. Nah,
So
100%.
you're about 10 years in now. Seems like you're having fun. Are you still having fun?
I'm just now having fun.
Oh,
I
you're
feel like,
just now having fun.
yeah, I was having fun at the beginning, and I feel like as soon as I got signed, it wasn't fun. And now that I am in a new situation, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
that simple. The time that I spent frustrated, was like I said, it is what it is. It was at the helm of the label I was at. So once I was free from that, I'm not just an angry nigga. I was free from what was plaguing me. So
Right. And
yeah, having a
yeah,
lot of. I'm recording a ton of music. I actually I'm making some music with Thelonious Martin right now, and
Fire.
he texted me and was like, "Dog, you're snapping on everything." I'm like, "Bro, I'm having fun." Like that was my response. It's like this shit is fun as hell right now. So yeah.
yeah. And it seems like the patience, it's very aggressive, or you kind of this is a little bit a different style than maybe what people are used to hearing from you. So where do you think, I guess, was it just kind of like you were just waiting for the right moment?
No, I think it's just what I felt. I think in general, I was always waiting for the right moment. I don't think I was ever fully spreading my wings under the frustration that I was in, not even 100% intentionally. Just I think that's natural when you feel constrained in a lot of different ways to be able to do your best. But nah, a lot of times it's just tone. I think you don't hear the pasta beat and do something smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Guapanese is another joint I was really yelling on. It's just like it's a open piano loop. It's not too much other production. It's just like you need to be the energy on the song. You feel me? And so I think those things become the determiner consciously more than anything when I'm taking that tone that people love so much. It's a big part of why it wasn't heard so much throughout my earlier music because I was trying to deliver projects that didn't call for that. Beats didn't really call for that. I could have done that, right? But I move much more from an emotional place with my intentionality around creating. How I feel, what's going on in my life is going to show up in my music. And so not even intentionally, I just told you about the intentional part, but not even intentionally, it's like I was actively frustrated while I was making this music, so I think that was just coming out on its own as well. Right?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. I just wanted to touch back on the label situation too, because I can relate to that. You know what I mean? I was an artist that was on a label. I was signed to Epic Records for a tenure, and I was pretty frustrated as well. But I just wanted to hear it from you because a lot of times we hear about the frustration while being on the label, but like how did you kind of stay afloat as a creative through those moments and navigate it and then get out to the point where you're at now? Just so upcoming artists can hear it from that standpoint.
Well, for me, it was whatever I tried to get out without uh completing what I owed them in my deal. I couldn't do that. And so once I realized that I needed to deliver the albums that I had left, I was just like, well, my benchmark in my mind was I gotta like the music.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very easy for me to say fuck this and like do some bullshit just to get out. You feel me? And I was like, well, I'm gonna hate that later. You feel me? Like I'm gonna pay for it and I'm gonna hate it later. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I was like, so I was just like,
You got principles, it sounds
let me
like. You're like, I'm not gonna do that.
just do the bare minimum,
yeah,
basically. I mean, like my bare minimum is better than a lot of niggas' best. No, no cockiness. Like just literally, it's like if I, you know, I'm very aware of myself. When I didn't think I was good enough, I told myself I wasn't good enough. You feel me? It's like, nah, you're not at the level you need to be. And I pushed myself to go harder. And so I'm at where I'm at because of, you know, 10,000 hours, 100,000 hours as a writer. You feel me? So when I say that, I'm not saying that arrogantly, but like literally shit that I don't think is good at all. People are like, what? This is amazing. It's just like, I mean, I guess. You feel me? Like, and so that was my benchmark. You need to like the music. And so the healing component, Pieces of a Man, I mean, not the healing component, Pieces of a Man and Elephant in the Room.
Elephant in the Room.
Yeah, those last two projects. It's like, those are real stories. I'm not bullshitting per se, but I'm also not trying to do my best. In my mind, I was like, imagine doing a magnum opus. Everybody want their Illmatic, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing I used to hear. It's like, I want to make my Illmatic when we was writing shit. You feel me? Like, imagine doing that, your best album ever, and offering it up to niggas that you know you are not aligned with.
Right.
That are going to take 50% of it, that you know what I'm saying? It's like that have done you wrong, that have lied to you. Just imagine knowing that you have your best work and being like, here you go, guys, that I don't fuck with. You feel me? Like,
good point.
like, let me know what you think. You feel me? Like, nah, bro. So I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll try to do my best after I leave this situation. For right now, I'll do what I have to do to get out of the situation. So you just gotta put your head down. Yeah. You know, I think there's a lot of times in life, I take stuff frequently out of rap. I think it is not a rap thing. This is a life principle thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of times where you're not in a situation where you want to be. You thought you were signing up for something and you find out it's something else, but you in it now. Well, you got to do what you got to do till you get to where you're trying to get.
Facts.
And that might include things you don't want to do, but you could sit in it, or you could do that and get out of it. So that's just really the mindset. It's just like, let me just put my head down and do what I got to do. Once I'm out of this, then I'll do what I want to do.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And one thing you brought up in the past or recently is the idea of you've been waiting for some of these other artists who've given you props, showed you love behind the scenes to like do it publicly. Do you feel like, I guess, what would the reasoning be behind that, where you feel like people behind the scenes, they're like happy to tell you that you're the shit and you're super talented, but can't come out and like talk about that publicly just to be a friend, like help out someone that could use it, like the cosign, obviously, which is so important in music, rap especially.
I don't worry about it no more. I don't think you should worry about it at all. You know, you can't really answer those questions unless you're gonna go ask the person, and you're not really gonna go ask nobody except for somebody that you actually can ask. Right? Go ask Saba why he never said blah blah blah. I could go ask why he never said blah blah blah. That doesn't mean that they should have, but I could go ask them because they really my dogs. You feel me? Like, I can't go ask Freddie why he never, like, what
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, like, because at the same time, somebody could ask me.
Right.
Like, and was it so intentional? It's like, oh, no, I didn't. Oh, that's what you wanted me to do? Okay. Maybe if you'd have told me that, I would have thought about doing it, but I didn't even know that. Why? Because I'm in my own world, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, I thought you was dope. That don't mean I gotta go. Yeah, like I don't mean I gotta go tell the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's my prerogative. And I think people forget that a lot of times. Like, it's just like, okay, there's a lot of shit in life you think is dope, and don't go tell somebody else. And it don't have nothing to do with nothing except you thought it was dope in that moment. You are now in a new moment.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about that anymore. Like, sometimes that is as simple as that. Sometimes it's more than that, but sometimes it's as simple as that. You feel me? So it's just like, where do you get off taking on this, like, what a nigga should have did, you know? And so that's where, I know that's not exactly what you're saying, but that's where that shit leads for me.
Right.
So I've had to be like, it doesn't really matter. You
just letting go of the whole, just being done with it. I can't
really know why, you know, motherfuckers said something to me in private, some of the biggest people in the world, but don't say nothing in public because they saw me and they wanted to say it to me. That's why. That probably makes more sense than anything. Oh, there he is. Let me tell him. You feel me? Like, I don't have to tell the world. I told him. You feel me? Like,
that's a good point.
That's the human part, and not the I'm trying to get ahead part. It's like, I saw you. I told you.
Right.
Why are you asking me why I didn't tell the world? Like, I didn't. Yeah, the world.
It makes sense to give you the flowers because if I'm looking at you, I'm gonna give you the flowers to your face.
Right in front of me. You feel me? So I just try not to worry about that. I think there's a lot of shit like that you could get caught up worrying about it, and it can be detrimental to you even in ways that you don't recognize. You know what I'm saying? It don't even have to be, oh, this nigga's tripping off other people's opinions. It could be a lot more subtle than that. You feel me? And I've caught myself reacting and acting to that. And I'm just like, nah, you gotta stop worrying about that. Like,
yeah.
You know, just appreciate the fact that motherfucker saw you and the motherfucker told you that their shit was dope when they saw you. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
take that. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. Man, I wanted to ask you, like, I know we've been talking about the music. What do you do, like, you know what I mean, to escape the music? Like, when, you know, I like to use the analogy like Batman, you know what I mean? When we in rapper mode, we got the bat suit on, you know what I mean? When you take the bat suit off and you out of rapper mode, you know, what do you like to do, man? Just to like get away, recharge the battery, you know what I mean? What's something you like to do?
I'm big on nature. I be at the beach a lot. I be hiking. I go to the parks. I go to like arbitoriums.
Yeah.
Like rose gardens. We do that. We walk a lot around our neighborhood, me and my wife. I play video games. I play 2K. I fucking do
I was gonna say, are you nice? Are you nice with the 2K though?
Not this 2K. Not this.
Yeah, the new one, crazy, right? They
I haven't even played it. I heard it's not good.
Some of my friends are nice, and I'm just like, maybe this is not the one for me. You feel me? Yeah. I've always been pretty good at 2K. Not the best, but like,
yeah.
You can't just, oh, I'm a bust your. It's like, no.
Who your team? Who's your team?
It depends on the year. Right now, I'm rocking with the Suns just because in this new shit, with this new 2K, if you playing online, it's like you can't pull up with Charlotte Hornets. You feel me? That's I like Charlotte Hornets. I like the Bulls. You feel me? It's like you can't pull up with that. Like not online.
The
not
shot chart too hard. The green.
Not with these motherfuckers. Like it's crazy out here. I like playing Call of Duty, but I'm over it. I don't have fun playing Call of Duty. I get frustrated. You feel me? Like I'm just like, I don't play this shit. I want to have fun. Like
you don't play video games to get more pissed off,
bro. Like like for real. Like so, I just let the Call of Duty go. Other than that, we play a little Smash. I don't play too many other video games than that. And then yeah, that's about it. I spend time with my wife. I work on my marriage. You know.
Yeah, that's good.
Not of like rap shit. That's about it. I don't. You gotta consider that this is what I do. Like live and breathe. If I wasn't famous, I would be doing this. Like I was doing it before I was famous, and I wasn't doing it to get famous or to make money or anything. Like so, this is what I would do anyway, no matter what I was doing. I'm always thinking of lyrics. I'm always writing lyrics down. I'm always taking apart ideas and asking questions and like getting deep into simple shit. Like, you know, for real. Like we can sit up here and find some political angle on why these headphones are black and silver instead of black and gold, or it's just like silly shit like that. I'll be doing stuff.
The brain be working all the time.
Yeah, so there's getting out of rapper mode, but there's not getting out of writer mode for me.
Right.
That's just who I am. Like,
yeah, got you. I feel that, especially on the nature, bro. The nature.
That's key.
Amplified, you know what I mean? Like
I'm in LA now, so it's like I want to take advantage of the fact that so much is an hour away or 2 hours away. You feel me? Like we've been a lot of different places that is just like desert, mountain, snow, beach. Like it's really crazy out here, like what you got access to. So we be trying to take advantage of that. Like,
check out Joshua Tree. You been out of Joshua Tree yet?
Multiple times. Yeah. Big Bear. Like we done made some moves around here. San Diego. Like we be going. Like cause shit's close.
Yeah.
Drove out to the desert, drove out to Vegas, like like we be doing shit, bro. Like,
you checked out Alcatraz ever?
No, not yet. I was looking at some shit to do, and I was looking at it like maybe.
It's interesting.
It was like so many other things on the list that I do rather go to a jail. I was like, I'm good over here.
That shit would suck. You're just on like, man, I'm on jail on a fucking island, and you can just see like the whole city. Just like, it looks like within a swimmable distance. But I'm surprised, touching on 2K. Why don't you play with the Bucks? Aren't you and Dame
friends? I was gonna say, man, the Bucks. Hey, we nice this year.
Aren't me and Dame friends? I wish me and Dame was friends.
You guys follow each other.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago, man. I'm from Chicago all day. And really the team I like the most, the young team I like the most is Charlotte. Like I'm a huge, huge NBA person. Like all day, every day. Like preseason, summer league, all that shit. Like
You got any preseason predictions, man? Who you got? Who you got? Who's your finals? What's your finals matchup?
I don't know, man. I think Celtics or Milwaukee out the East.
Mm-hmm.
I think Suns or Lakers out the West,
I was
man.
gonna say, go with your Suns, man. Go. The
I
Suns might.
think I think the Lakers got a better chance than the Suns, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the Lakers have a good team. Everybody came back. It really just depends on LeBron and AD health. If LeBron and AD are healthy,
Yeah.
not at the playoffs, the last month into the playoffs.
Into the playoffs,
Not oh, we've been sitting for the last 2 weeks, or I got an injury and then I'm ready for the playoffs. No, the last month into the playoffs, if they healthy, I think that's a hard team to beat. Like, but there's so much going on in the NBA. I gotta see it. You feel me?
No, for sure. It's early.
But by December, I might just be like, yeah, same four that I just mentioned. Like, yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, that's a good pick. Those are good picks.
Yeah.
You know we going for the boys, man. We going for. We need to get Dame one, man. We trying to get Dame one.
Yeah, y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all got one with Drew. Y'all look like y'all in a good position with Dame. I'll be hurting on them in Chicago, bro.
I'm already.
You had your time.
Because I'm a championship nigga. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I don't want second round. Ooh, I don't care. Like, are we competing for a championship? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't. So every year that I don't believe we're actually competing for a championship is just, we're not. If we're not even a contender, it's just like, I guess I'm happy when we win, but what's for what?
I feel your pain, bro. I feel your pain.
All right.
Going back to your project, The Patience. So it's 11 tracks. How many? And I'm always curious about this because I'm a fan as just a consumer and a fan of music, like a more concise album. And I imagine just reading through comments you've made, other artists that we've had on our show, or just in general, like sculpting, starting out with X amount and your process of whittling it down. You obviously did a pretty good job on this one, picking it, but I can just imagine, especially talking to you and hearing about your creative process, like that just sounds like hell, like trying to whittle down from a bunch of songs that you believe in. So what's that like for you?
I actually said to my manager at one point, like, yo, I can't keep making music because we're just making it harder to pick. Like, just keep making it harder to pick. So yeah. First of all, I consciously made the song shorter. I think, I've done a lot of concepts and a lot of long albums with Cinematic when I was over there. Like, it had nothing to do with them. That was me. But that's the period that I was in. And once I was free from that, I was just like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do concepts the way I usually did it. I'm not trying to do a long album like I usually. That's what I always do. Like, I just want to like breathe for a second, do some other shit. Let me just make some shit. I was like, let me try. I've been noticing that for years. It's not some new shit. I was like, well, let me try making some shorter shit. Let me just do. I was calling it 2-minute drills. Let me just do some 2-minute drills. Make some shit like quickly. Let's just keep going. You feel me? Like load up the next one. Load up the next one. And so we was just doing a bunch of that. And then I hit John, my manager, like, yo, I don't think I could do no more of this shit. Like, I'm just making it harder to choose.
Yeah.
I went from 40 to 19, and going from 19 to 11 was really hard. And I was trying to go to 7. We were supposed to go to 7.
Oh, Jesus.
I couldn't go to 7. I just left it at 11. I could not get down to 7 at all. Like, everything that I took off, I felt like, nah, that's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, especially because the songs are short, right? If the songs are all 3 minutes, 7 or 8 clocks in at the same 28 minutes. But because they're all so short, why take it? It's not, what are you doing? Why take it off? You feel me? Right. Like, so that's how that process went.
How about picking the order then too?
Picking the order is a lot easier. It's just music, some, you know what? I used to go the vibe. Like, what sounds the best? How do I want to start the project? I used to want to start the project with a story, and then my shit got completely flipped on its head when somebody was like, "Look, bro," I can't even remember who told me this. He was like, "Look, bro, I get what you're trying to do. You know what? People don't appreciate that." He was like, "People who don't know your music, if you don't get them in the first 2 songs, they're moving on most of the time." And I just had to think about it. I was like, "Damn, when I don't, 1, 2, 3. If I'm checking out an album, I don't 1, 2, 3. If if the first 3 songs don't get me, nothing's going to make me stop and listen to this album. If the first 3 songs don't get me, now I'm skipping through the album. You feel me? Like, that's why I was just like, damn." He was like, "You want to put a variety of songs in the first 3. Like, you don't want the first 3 songs to sound the same. You don't want them to be all to be the same vibe. If I don't get you on this vibe, well, then I get you on this vibe. And if I don't get you on this vibe, well, then I get you on this vibe." The likelihood that you have more than 3 very different vibes on your album is not high. You feel me? Like, so he was like, "You should just put one of each vibe at the beginning and catch people that way." You feel me? And then work on the actual like sequencing after the first 2 or 3 songs. That kind of changed shit for me. That's why Michelin Star and Show and Tell are first. Because it's just like Michelin Star grabs you in a way that no other song on the album grabs you. And Show and Tell is just like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy it's just like, oh. And then you know, I felt confident with those 2. So, from there, it's just music. What sounds good after this song? What sounds good before this song? Like, we knew we weren't separating 2004 and Roy G. Biv.
Yeah.
They sound too good coming right after each other.
Yeah.
Like, just no matter where they were at, they were going to be next to each other. You feel me? Like, so that kind of stuff is easy because it's puzzle pieces, and whichever part really don't work, then we just make an interlude or, produce it, to make it match. So that's just actually pretty easy. It takes a lot longer to whittle it down. I would say it took me like 6 months to go from 40 to 11. Like,
what are you gonna do? What do you do with the rest of those songs? Then are they just like in the trash pile?
Some of them contextually and timeline wise, just they'll never come out. Some of them are good enough to like transcend that. So they're like, there's just one joint called 2011 that I was going to put on an album that I'm about to do, but we got a deluxe of this coming out, so I'm about to put it on the deluxe. But it's another joint like 2004, not in a beat, but in a sense of I'm speaking on some shit that happened in that year. You feel me? Like, so some songs that transcend that, I would say maybe like half of the songs that I have left can still come out. The other half are just, they're never coming out.
Damn.
Like, because the reality is some of that shit's not good enough. I think a lot of times when you just putting up shots. Like, you're just putting up shots. Like, some miss, some don't. It doesn't matter. You're just putting up shots right now to find. The best analogy I can say is like you're in a mine. You're in a mine, but it's all kinds of shit in here. Like, you could find gold, you could find silver, you could find diamonds, you could find pearls, you could find rubies. You're mining though.
Right.
You feel like, so sometimes you find the diamonds and it's just like, yes. Sometimes you find gold and it's just like, oh, okay, correct. I'm gonna put this to the side because I'm still looking for diamonds. Like, you feel me? Like,
right.
Some days you might find a bunch of gold and no other rocks, and it's just like, all right, well, we're gonna have to work with this. Some days you might find only rubies, only precious gemstones. That's not, and so I think it's like that. The more mining you do, the more you find that shit. So if I did 100 songs, the 11 would have been crazier. It just would have been harder to choose. You feel me? Like, so.
At least you didn't put out a 100-song album. That probably wouldn't have been the move.
Nah.
So I wanted to, because I'm big on like bars, bro, and like verses and stuff. And clearly, like, bro, you just let the clip go on this whole album. So I got a 2-part question. One, what would you say if you have one? I know that these type of questions be hard to pick, but if you had a favorite verse on this project, which one is it? And then my second question would be, you know, you going toe to toe with a couple rappers on the album. You know what I mean? When you smoke a verse, do you ever be like, you know what I mean? Do you just be like, damn, like I did that? You know what I mean? Or you kind of just drop 40 on them and keep going?
My favorite verse is probably Guapanese, just the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite bars is probably 007. Yeah, but my
Sitting
favorite.
Ducks is crazy too. You got some.
I don't. My favorite. That's my favorite. Sitting Ducks and Pasta is probably the hardest, and I think Sitting Ducks is the hardest because I knew Benny was getting on the song. So like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Sitting Ducks is crazy. Like, and so then that leads me right into that. It's just like, nah, I sit back and I celebrate while I'm smoking a verse. You feel me? Like, I write some shit and put the phone down and be like, oh my fuck. Like when I wrote the
it's funny.
When I wrote the A Million More Like Me in the Fold, the damn, I can't remember the line. Like, I said some shit about unfertilized, you gotta weed out your bros. Uncircumcised, got extra skin in the game. A million more like me in the fold. That's how I'm coming.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I was like, that's pretty fucking nasty.
Yeah, that's crazy. No,
that's disgusting. Actually, literally, figuratively, it's nasty. Like
that's a bar itself. You say
me, like, yeah, it's like ew. Like, so yeah, man, I do that. Like, I just watched some Jean Justice playing a piano. When he finished, he laughed, and it was like a laugh, like, I know I'm nice. You feel me? Like, it's like I don't feel like that's an error. It's like if somebody else did it, I would have reacted the same way. It just happened to be me. You feel me? Like, like so yeah, man, I do that. And when I smoke a verse, I honestly, like, I don't think nobody was rapping with me on this album except Jid, personally. You feel me? Like, that's me, you know. But me and Jid, you know, Jid's nice.
Yeah, he's another one. He's a Jedi.
Back and forth to each other. Like, we sharpen our pens with each other all the time. You feel me? So, you know, that's not surprising to me. But like, for real, I take a lot of pride in on this writing shit. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I intentionally I tell somebody said that, I'll admit that here. It's like, yeah, I intentionally wanted to be next to niggas on this album so you niggas could see, like, I actually rap better than niggas. Like,
yeah,
not even a thing. Like,
yeah,
like,
respect, bro. Likewise, man. I'm just as passionate as, so I can identify it, bro. So big respect on that, bro. That's amazing.
So speaking of being on songs with other rappers, so our friend, Wave's friend of the show, Nile X Nile from Milwaukee, you did Breakfast with him. It was on his album last year or earlier this year, Nostalgia Everclear. Wave's done songs with Nile. He's very talented. He's been on our show a couple times, but I mean, he was a big fan of you and was able to make that happen. So I guess how did that all come about from your perspective? Then were you pretty happy? I mean, you're happy with everything you put out, but what was that like? That song like?
Email, man. You know, I'm not hard to find at all. I'm not hard to work with at all. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, hit up the feature process went straight forward. I think the biggest thing for me is liking a song. You know, if I like the song, if I like the beat, if it's a palette for me to work with, then we're good. You know what I'm saying? Having a concept for me to go off of is even better. You know, and I think that's how that shit turned out well. But for me, you know, people always ask me that question, and I think if you look out, there's constantly new music that I'm featured on, like, every month. You feel me? Like, I'm not, you know, it's easy to get a hold of me. So, yeah.
Oh, love that, bro.
You use a lot of sports analogies. Would you rather be a pro athlete than a musician if you got to choose?
If I had to choose, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Music, shit ain't making no money, man.
Man, say it 3 more times, man, for the people.
Like, I could be a pro athlete.
M's, bro.
50 million a year.
For 15 years. Right now, I could have been a pro athlete for 12 years and stopped and been 32 years old.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'd rather be a pro athlete.
All right.
great life left to do whatever the fuck I want.
And still, you can still be a rapper after that. No bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do both. It's
You
worked
could do
out.
both. Like,
Yeah, but there's probably some guys in the NBA who'd rather be rapping than playing basketball. You don't think so?
Not for real.
No, they doing both, bro.
I was going to say because you can do both.
They
wouldn't
both.
like
look
hell
at
no.
Dame,
and they'll get more people listening to them immediately just because of their platform.
Yeah, nah, hell
no. So some of your favorite Chicago albums. I really liked your list because you mentioned the Cool Kids, the Bake Sale. I remember discovering them in college, and they blew my mind. I'd never heard music like that before, and their style, and they were just very different than what was out at the time. But you list some classics on your Kanye, College Dropout, Late Registration, Common, Go, Lupe, Cool.
Somebody
Chief
told
Keef.
me on Twitter on Reddit they didn't like my list, but
I thought your list was cool.
That's what I was listening to. That's really what it is for me. It's like that's what I was listening to. It's not even anything other than that. It's just like, well, that's what I was listening to.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cool Kids and like a lot of the music from that era, give me your take on like the blog era, like the blog, like like Ill Roots, Too Dope, that whole era versus.
I had a crazy take the other day in the interview, and somebody corrected me when they actually wrote the interview. Kind of like put some context to. I was like, okay, maybe some of my claims were a little wild.
Okay. What'd you do? What were you saying?
Like, no, I was saying that it was like the perfect time, and he was like pointing out a lot of the flaws of the blog era, and I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't perfect, but I feel that by and large, no matter what the actual reason was, the type of artist that we were exposed to region to region was pretty fucking dope in their own right.
100%.
Content wise, swag wise, every niggas had their own shit. You know what I'm saying? Pac Div didn't feel like the crew that was coming out of fucking Ohio. I forgot their name.
Fly.
Yeah, Fly Union. Fly Union.
There you
go. With Jarreau. Yeah. You had like I mean when you start going down a list of like Denzel Curry, Danny Brown, A$AP Rocky, everything that was going on in Chicago, all the shit that was happening in Texas with Space Ghost Perp and Plan and like all of that shit. A ton of shit was happening West Coast with like
Overdose
and like with like dance shit and rap shit. Like I'm talking about like Casey Veggies and like 25th Hour Dom, like like it was all kind of shit going on, and I feel like the artists Wale's and like all the artists that you were getting exposed to, people that popped off and people that didn't, you feel me? Like it was a lot more talent to dig.
Yeah, that was a good list that you just ran through right there. It was a lot more
talent to dig through to figure out what you liked. You feel me? Like right now, I mean, this is after the blog era.
Yeah.
Like this is the era, whatever this era you want to call it. This is after the blog era. Like this is post blog era and this era, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just like I think the quality of artists that we're getting exposed to across the board is dipped dramatically. Like
for sure, and it feels a little force fed, in my opinion.
I'm not saying the quality of artists that exist. Just the ones that we're getting exposed to. You feel me? Like by the powers that be, right? At the blog era, they was the people that was exposing everybody to artists. There were bigger platforms, but that's not who we were really going to find new artists.
Right.
We are now going to the biggest platforms to find new artists.
Like who's like on the playlist on Spotify and Apple.
Yeah, whatever the YouTube says is next, whatever the playlist is giving you on Apple Music or Spotify, or what, you know what I'm saying? Like there is. Right. As a matter of fact, you could just simply answer this question by saying, where else do we go? Not where do you go? Where do we go? Where do the people go? Like, other than the biggest platforms. Like, okay, cool. Now, what are the biggest platforms feeding us? First, it's not a lot of dope shit to look through. I'm not saying it's not dope shit to find. I'm saying it's not a lot of dope shit to look through.
Yeah. I like that you worded it like that too, because everybody always likes to say, "Oh, you're just not looking hard enough." But like you said, it's not what you can find, it's what's being fed. You know what I mean?
You know, blog era, all its ups and downs, there was a lot of dope shit to look through.
Yeah.
Like, whether you liked it or not, like
100%. You go on Ill Roots, bro. You're gonna find
I'm looking through a lot of trash.
Yeah.
I'm looking through a lot of trash. Like, so now I stopped looking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you, man. That's a good good take.
Like, yeah.
I feel you 100%, man.
Like, it's a different, I do analogies a lot. I'll be like, it's a different thing to be in a high-end department store looking for a deal than to be in a thrift store looking for something that you would find at the high-end department store. Like,
that's good one.
It's different. It's different. That's all. Because you can find them both.
Yeah.
But it's a very different thing. Like, like, I've done both. You gonna put more work in that thrift store, brother. Trust me. Like,
nah, you spot on, brother. I love it, man. The blog era was a golden time, bro, for sure.
For all its pros and cons.
Yep.
I think in my other interview, I glazed it like it was just all gravy. And when they actually wrote out the interview and I read the interview, they like did a disclaimer, and I was like, damn.
Why'd they do that to you? What's the matter? Why wasn't so important?
They was right. I think they was on some, you know,
he was trying to provide context, kind of.
Are not the views of the publication type shit.
Got you. Okay, got you.
But when I read it, it was like, nah, they right. I might have like gassed it a little bit. You feel me? Like, it wasn't all roses.
It wasn't perfect, but it was like,
it wasn't perfect. Right? Yeah.
But I mean, shit, it's better than, you know, like you said, it's better than what's going on now, for sure. I can say that.
It's never the thing when the big money niggas is controlling the narrative. You probably never gonna really get what is, you know, the authentic, what it should be. You feel me? Like, that's just historical.
That organic, man. We need that organic, man. That's why artists like you is important, man, for sure.
You think there's still ways to, do you think there are still ways to blow up organically?
Yeah.
It's still few and far between. Do you think everyone even artists that seem like it's organic, it's not? I know that's like a good look sometimes, the fake organic blow up.
What is the fake organic blow up?
I guess the term, the industry plant idea, where it's like someone comes on the scene out of nowhere and they want the consumer to believe that, like, oh, this guy just out of nowhere, like his music just blew up by chance, but in reality they're like already signed, or they have people behind them like pushing their music, but they like making it look like that it was all just like a true case of just talent.
I call that a question, because it's just like, well, what is talent? Like, we got to start answering these questions. Like, in this day and age, is that what makes you successful? No.
Hell no.
No, it's not talent. It's never been, for a long time, it hasn't been talent.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, well, let's just stop with that. If you believe that, that's your fault. Like, let's stop that. It's not truly talent. Like, there are very talented people, and I think most people have talent. It's not talent that gets you to where we're talking about, to be called an industry plant, or even at the level that one might consider you that, or that your contemporaries are or are not that. You feel me? Like, at that level, all them people usually have a level of talent. And you know, if you don't, it's an opinion that's inflammatory, right? If I say Sexy Red don't got no talent, niggas gonna be mad at me. If I say Ice Spice don't got no talent, niggas gonna be mad at me. You feel me? Like, you feel me? But these are also people that people accuse of being industry plants, right? So that's why I speak to them specifically. It's just like, but it's just like, here, this is where I say about talent. It's just like, okay, but we're in an industry where talent isn't the thing.
Right.
Like, oh, what do you mean industry plant? Like, motherfucker, if I signed you for $5 million, you an industry plant. Like, what? Like, is Glorilla an industry plant? No, but she's getting planted all over the place. Because why? Because I got signed by a label. Like, who does things traditional. She got signed by a traditional label. You feel me? Like, I mean, it's Yo Gotti, but the parent label, and they do things traditionally. We gonna spend money over here and put you over here. We gonna put you on this stage. We're gonna put the ice on you, and we're gonna put you on this stage. It's just like we do.
Yeah.
Those are industry plant moves.
Yeah.
Is Glorilla industry plant? Hell no. We saw her blow up on her fucking own.
Yeah. I feel like the word. I feel like
Just like,
industry
that's what
plant.
I mean. Where it's just like, what are we really talking about? Because it's like,
Yeah.
Sexy Red blew up on her own. I don't know why that fucking song was popular. The first one, my pink booty hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the part we know. That's
Yeah.
the part we know. Is that not insane? And it blew up.
Right.
Yeah.
That happened on her own. None of these execs that's trying to pay her now would have bet any money
On
a
that
year
song?
ago that song was going to do anything. They would have turned their heads. You feel me? Like, so it's just like, is that an industry plant? Because the industry certainly swooped in and put her on this stage and 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 this stage, like she worked to be there and she hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a plant? People would say it is, but it's like, nah. We know we know what a hood motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We know somebody. You know when it's authentic and it's authentic.
Yeah, 100%,
She
100%.
put that shit out. She put that video up. She didn't know it was gonna do that, but it did. Now she's trying to run it up. Cool, do your thing. But I feel like that's more industry plant than somebody like Ice Spice, who actually got a lot more reasons to be called an industry plant than some of these other people that I'm talking about, just by connections and people that's in her actual family. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, but did we like that song or not?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Industry plans. It's like, but did the people like the song or not?
Yeah.
You feel me? The industry has planted a lot of shit that did not grow, that has failed. You feel me? Like the industry has put some straight industry shit out, like Ren and 10 off motherfucking Brown Sugar. You feel me? It's done that multiple times and has failed. It has failed. So I think the industry plant shit is just like a big gray area. I'm not denying that it's a thing that exists, but it's just like, I mean, who is what? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's like, how do you determine it? You know what I mean?
Like, what are we talking about? Like, I remember niggas was people. I don't think the general public know this, but like, folks didn't know ASAP was signed for a long time. Motherfuckers was trying to that he already had some shit set up. You feel me?
Right.
Like, not necessarily signed, but like, I know multiple people who, oh, let me see what they got going on over here, just to get shut down and just for these niggas to announce 7 months later who they rocking with. You feel me? It's just like, is that it? You know, what are we talking about? And I think that's the biggest thing is like, what are we saying? Like, because people who could even actually be attributed to being industry plans, it's like, but we had to like the music though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point.
They tried to force a lot of stuff on us that didn't work. Like, we had to like the music though, right? Like,
right.
Yeah, 100%. You've been dropping like gems this whole interview, man. Mick, I gotta say. What do you got?
I don't know, man. I'm just
I've been, like I said, reading through all your interviews that you've done during this rollout. Like, you give a good ass interview. I mean, do you enjoy getting this? Now that you're doing like multiple interviews, you've gotten some big features in some magazines. Obviously, the show on Riverwest Radio in Milwaukee. This is the biggest one yet, of course. But
I was a journalist major, number one.
Yeah. Where at?
Oakwood University. It's a Christian school in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I reacted like that because I'm like, you probably never heard of it, but yeah. You know, I'm a writer. I did PR when I was working. Like, I know how to do, first of all, I try not to get the same interview over and over because motherfuckers just get the same interview over and over. You feel me? I know how to do 6 interviews and talk about the same thing 6 different ways. So it doesn't feel like I just said the same thing 6 times if you look at all the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm conscious of how to do stuff like that. I think I enjoy it, number one, because it gives me the opportunity to explain myself. I think a lot of times people misunderstand. Even without misunderstanding, people just want to know. You feel me? Your fans actually want to know. I know for interviews of people that I cared about, when I wasn't hearing the same thing over and over, those are the ones that I zeroed in on. You know, I'm a visual person. I watch a lot of speeches, I watch interviews, I watch debates and shit like that. So for me, that's very important. You know, one thing that's always stuck out in my mind is Beyonce on one run that she had, like maybe like 10 years ago. She was frustrated because all the interviews was asking her the same stuff. And so she had like an outburst on somebody, but it was just like, come on, y'all. Like, I've been in here 8 hours and y'all asking the exact same questions. This is ridiculous. You feel me? Like, and so I think I've just always been kind of conscious about it. And then it's not hard to do because I think there are multiple angles to what I do. So having an angle for y'all, having an angle for them, having an angle for them. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just like my music, my art is layered in that way. So we can talk for a while. And that like, if you can't see, I like to talk. That's why I got to rap. You feel me? Like I like, you know what I'm saying? So I think all of that goes into, why I interview the way that I do.
Definitely.
I want to add to that too. I think it's important just as artists in general, man, for us to have these like timestamp moments, like, because as we progress, right, like, your fans can go back, 2 years from now, they can go back and see where you was at during this, what mood you was in, or what headspace you was in this during this era of your career versus, in the future. You know what I mean? So I think that's super dope too, man, to have these like timestamp moments.
I think even in the past, like I think niggas could go back and see like a difference in the energy, like from different album runs and interviews that I was doing to now. It's just like, I mean, it puts more context to the things that I was trying to tell people. You feel me? Like,
Dope, super dope.
Sure. I think last question before you go. So tour dates coming up. Are you putting a tour together? When can your fans see you on the road?
We about to announce, but we'll be out in January for a little bit, and then we'll be out in February for a bit.
Coming to Milwaukee?
Definitely. Matter of fact, let me make sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, man, we got to come check you out, man.
Announce it on the show.
Pull up on you.
Let me just get the date. I'm positive we are, but since I'm on here with y'all, let me.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Damn, we're not.
Damn. What about that?
Damn.
We know you. Hey, you going?
I wouldn't even lie to you like that. You feel me? I could. But nah, we not. The closest place we going is
You're going to Chicago, right?
Yeah, closest place is Chicago. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know you're going back.
Yeah, you better be going to Chicago.
Korea.
I was just trying to see is Detroit, yeah, Chicago closer.
Yeah. Chicago like an hour 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, that's what's up, man. We definitely gonna pull up to on a tour date, man.
I actually got hella family in Milwaukee. I got family off Silver Springs. I got family in
Silver String Drive. Yeah.
Hey man, listen.
My grandma stay on Fond du Lac.
Bro, listen, man. If we had time, bro, I'll tell you, I got stories about Silver Spring, man. But that's dope, man. Shout out to Midwest in general, man. Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, all that, man.
Love.
We really got the sauce, man. We really the ones.
I appreciate y'all too. This been a pretty good interview, for real.
Yeah, for real, man. That's dope, man. That mean a lot, man. You know what I mean? I'm as an artist, bro. I'm new to the like pod/journalist space. So you know what I mean? But I think it's dope, you know what I mean, to be able to one, relate, and then also, get just give a dope interview.
I think we need more. I even have plans to do it myself, not podding at all, but just like really you know how Noisy was doing the back and forth between two artists?
Yeah, there were some good ones.
I don't know why they stopped that shit, but I want to do that. I think even more and that alone, I don't ever want to have a podcast or like a radio show or nothing like that. It's too much. But I do think that people don't know how to interview us. Like, you know, not even to say that people interview us bad, because people do interview us bad, but to say it's just like you wouldn't know to ask certain questions to get certain answers because you don't do this. You feel me? Like, so I know some shit that would be dope to hear you say or explain that no matter how good Barbara Walters is, she probably wouldn't know to ask something like this. You feel me? Because she do this. You feel me? Like, and so, yeah, man, I think I'm seeing it a lot with ball. I care way more about opinions from people who actually play basketball in the NBA.
Like, 100%. 100%.
I care way less about people who did not play. Like, I'll listen to, for a prime example, and there's no hate, but it's just like I'll listen to Shannon Sharp all day about football.
Yeah.
I don't know about his basketball opinion at all.
Dude, his show with Chad Ochocinco, they're fun to watch together.
JJ Redick, and I'll listen to a bench player before I listen to a nigga that averaged 3 points in high school. You feel me? Like I don't care. So it's like I think I want to see that in everything. Like I want to see more rappers doing rap journalism. Like I'd rather, you know, like I for sure, like all day. So more power to you, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you probably better than you think, better equipped than you think to do what you're doing and what you about to get deeper into. You feel me? Like, so more power to you, for real.
Yeah, Wave's good. Wave's a good interviewer. His music's good too. You should check it out sometime. He's got it. We wouldn't lie to you, Mick.
Famous plug.
I know you're not.
In a whole nother zone. Yeah. Look, ayy, I'm in a whole nother energy zone. I drop heat, but they sleep on it like memory foam. I touch down and celebrate like I ain't been here before. Take it to the top and make sure that my niggas can go. Spit fat, y'all know. Every time I drop folks, swear they tried to keep us out the game, but the lock broke. Down for your shorty like I'm jumping off the top rope. And the flow make them go, whoa, I'm Pop Smoke. I shake the room every time I'm making moves. Making tunes, chasing cash, you was chasing views. Grew up on that north side where they take you full. Every time I come up with a flow, bet I make the news. All these niggas claiming that they goats, must be April Fools. And your shorty put up to the show like she ain't with you. Shit, she just wanna be around me more. She just want the Dior, some brand new Dior. Ricky Bobby, you ain't first, you in last place. It don't make no sense if you on back chase. Need it now, everything fast paced. Sweet victory, it never leave a bad taste. Yeah. Call it sweet victory, it never leave a bad taste. Feel like sweet victory, it never leave a bad taste. I'm talking sweet like lemonade and champagne. Start the wave and I let them join the campaign. How I do it, I did it my way. I did it independent, so I did it like Jay. Yeah, that mean I got the whole nation rocking. From a dream to a stream to a bank deposit. I turned the fling to a queen if you think about it. I put the cash on the table, she just came to count it. Yeah, I got a bounce to find benefit and walking with the faith. I've been believing when niggas did it. You know the game, niggas switch up on you any minute. Then hit you up like it's been a minute. I seen that movie 100 times like paid in full. They gon' write the script in they favor to watch you play the fool. I ain't tripping, I'm just chilling with a plate of food. Talking shake and bake, I'ma make it zoom. Ricky Bobby, you ain't first, you in last place. It don't make no sense if you on back chase. Need it now, everything fast paced. Sweet victory, it never leave a bad taste. Yeah. Call it sweet victory, it never leave a bad taste. Feel like sweet victory, it never leave a bad taste.